Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's drama story is about account sharing gone wrong. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Coming up. No way! No. This cannot be. Like, what? Yeah, that's not weird at all. That you confided into your teacher about everything. Oh my god, guess what, guys? While people are still getting here. I said if I reach 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm turning into a Lalafell. And that is slowly getting there. Oh no. It might actually happen. Oh my god, I didn't even think it was possible to reach 30,000 subscribers. But it's getting closer and closer. Like, I saw it literally go from 28.3 to like 28.6 in like a week and a half. And I was like, oh my god. It's moving. Don't mind me just gonna Manderville Mambo in the background. Yeah, do whatever you want to do. As long as you're not like being noisy with your character, you know? Like not going, wah, wah, wah. Like as I'm reading a story. Let's get this started. Okay. This is the story of my Final Fantasy XIV experience and how it kind of changed my life. So back in 2016, I managed to get my first boyfriend. We'll call him Shu. You know what? We've had a Shu before in a previous story. Most likely not the same Shu, okay? We'll call him Shu. He was nice and saw that I knew my way with MMOs since I was often found playing one when I was not busy. He offered his Final Fantasy XIV account for me to try, and I foolishly agreed. Logged into his account and started my regretful Final Fantasy XIV journey. Okay, disclaimer! We need a Xenos bell. Ding, 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 ding. You're not allowed to share accounts, okay, guys? Don't share accounts. Square Enix, Yoshi P does not allow it. We got the Xenos emo in chat. Let's go. I at first played his character, level 35 paladin at the time, I believe, and I genuinely enjoyed it. I ended up leveling his paladin to level 60 all by myself with how much I enjoyed it. Once I was level 60, I began to talk to other players more while I was waiting for a response on what I should do from Shu. And I noticed they make sounds and glowed white, and suddenly I have a different weapon? It confused me a ton, and when I asked what happened, the player I was talking to at the time, we'll call him Zach, laughed and asked me if I played Paladin without switching my job a single time. I could only reply with yes and told him I wasn't told how to play anything other than the main job. This is when Zach showed me the actual world of Final Fantasy XIV and how you have freedom and didn't have to pay with change of jobs. I guess they're referring to like WoW, where you have to just stick to one job the whole time, right? And then have another character to play other jobs. Yeah, I really do like that about Final Fantasy XIV. Like, you can just switch your jobs up all in one character. He asked me if I was interested in anything other than Paladin, and I had to pause and think. Then my mind went straight to the healers I ran content with. How it seemed so cool that they basically controlled the party. And I told Zach this before I confessed to Zach I had no clue what healing was like in MMOs, and I really liked the cards. He proceeded to show me the Astrologian Guild. I got my second job, got introduced to my favorite story, and discovered the fun and beautiful world of being an astrologian. And I kept it a secret from Shu, at least until I got it to level 60. Once I got it to max level, I showed Shu, and started talking about how I thought it was more fun than Paladin, and began to ramble about how much I loved the story and the gameplay. All while I was doing this, I didn't notice how Shu was acting. According to my brother, he looked angry and was mouthing various words while I kept going on and on about how much I enjoyed Final Fantasy as an astrologian and couldn't wait to get it on my new account. This is when I revealed I decided to ask my parents if I could get a year-long sub to Final Fantasy XIV so I could experience the story and everything from the beginning. This is also the first time Shu yelled at me, calling me stupid for wanting my own account. I could just keep playing on his Paladin, he said. I should have noticed the red flags right there, but I blindly skipped over it and told him I wanted to experience and play the game myself. He said, okay, and to just get off because he wanted to play. And so I did. Wait, so are they going to make their own account now? I don't know. I don't know if that means they're going to make their own account or not. Shu grew silent for over a week, and I stupidly thought nothing of it. Until one day, while I was in the middle of playing Project Diva, Shu called me and told me to log into our Final Fantasy account. While it was painful to quit an almost perfect clear song, I turned off Project Diva and logged into his account. And on the character select screen, I was greeted with a level 60 bright green Mikote, named with my actual IRL name. And it was a Dark Knight. Shu proceeded to tell me we have a Savage raid in 5 minutes and I needed to be on ASAP. When I asked if he meant to get on the Mikote, he told me to not be stupid and hurry up to get on practice before raid. Huh? What? Who does that? Like, oh, get online now. We have raid in like few minutes. And also, what does he mean by we? Him and the OP can't play on the same account at the same time. It has to be just one person playing on this account. So I guess they're pushing, Shu is pushing the OP to jump on and play in our raid ASAP. I did as he said, and I tried my best to learn before being forced into the raid without knowing a single thing. I was crying while people yelled at me for not being a good leader and tank. It was at this moment that I decided I hated Final Fantasy XIV. After the party gave up and went offline, I began texting Zach, crying and ranting to him about the awful experience I just had. How I felt useless. He kept telling me everything would get better eventually. Damn, they're texting Zach? Alright, seems like they got close, like their friends Zach and OP got closer and now they're text buddy friends. Even though they met from the game, right? It was like a repeating cycle for 2 months. Eventually, I did admittedly become a good raid leader and Dark Knight. People actually began to praise me, including Shu. It kind of made me happy, but at the same time, I just wanted to heal. But Shu told me Dark Knight was perfect for me, and I should just stick with it because that's what I'm good at. So I dropped it. Before our... Like, what? How are you gonna let this person tell you what to play whenever you play? This person is controlling your life? Don't let this person do this to you. I know. I know it's easier said than done. When you're in love or whatever, you know, like, I understand it's a lot harder to, like, get out of this situation. Sometimes people are trapped. Okay, let's carry on. Before our next raid, a newcomer, a white mage I think, began asking me why I never glamored, and that they always see my character wear the same thing every day, and I told them I didn't know how to. The white mage decided to teach me about glamour and how many options we had, and actually helped me pick out an outfit to glamour into before we raided. I must have angered Shu with this, because after raiding, I logged off and went to bed. Woke up to 27 missed calls and a lot of texts that I honestly wasn't bothered to read. I was exhausted at this point. So exhausted, my teacher at school actually took notice and asked me if I was okay. I kind of told them everything about what happened between me and Shu and how things felt overwhelming. You just tell your teacher stuff? About your relationship? That's weird. He paused and said my character's name. No. Turns out my teacher was Zach this whole time. No way. No. This cannot be. America is massive. This is, yeah. How? I've never met a random person who ever even played Final Fantasy IV. I mean, sure. You can meet someone. But your teacher? Your teacher turned out to be Zach? I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. There's teachers out there who play Final Fantasy XIV, but what are the odds that like a player meets someone in the game, talks to them a lot, blah, 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 blah. Turns out that it's their teacher. No. That's so wild to me. Okay. Even how it's written is like, let me read it again for you guys. So exhausted, my teacher at school actually took notice and asked me if I was okay. I kind of told them everything about what happened between me and Shu and how things felt overwhelming. He paused and said my character's name. Turns out my teacher was Zach this whole time. It was kind of embarrassing to learn this, as I have confided into my teacher about everything. Yeah, that's not weird at all. That you confided into your teacher about everything. This is very weird. But he gave me solid advice, told me to focus on myself and happiness and to follow my heart. Okay. After school, I decided I wanted to cut things off with Shu. So I tried to log in, as I was planning to give whatever in my inventory away, only to be greeted by wrong password message. So I tried again, wrong password. Again, wrong password. Shu was punishing me. For what? What is Shu punishing you for? For changing the glam? Shu changed the password. Shu was locking me out. I tried to text him next. I was blocked. I tried to text our shared friends some help to get to him. Blocked. Blocked by everyone. Completely silenced. I couldn't do anything besides wait till my punishment was up, only for that to never happen, as a week later I received an IRL letter from Shu. Who sends IRL letters in this day and age? You could send like, okay, because I'm guessing they've blocked each other, okay? They've blocked each other, so like they sent a letter. The letter is something I cannot type, as I do not know how to censor it all, as it was filled with slurs towards autistic people. But to paraphrase it, he was angry that I never asked permission to do my own things, like level up a worthless job, for wasting time for useless things as glamour, and for not focusing on savage raids and doing stupid girly things in a man's game. What the fuck? In a man's game? What is this? And that I was worthless since I didn't want to listen. This is like so comedic already. Like, he had the nerve to end the letter with, From Shu, comma, your upset ex. Who writes like that? Like a kid? The only time I've ever seen someone ever write like that in a letter was like my old best friend that was mad at me would be like, from Kate, you're no longer BFF. From Shu, your upset ex. It's so funny. Okay. It did hurt, admittedly, but I was freed from him. But I wanted to avoid Final Fantasy XIV, thinking he could track me down in-game somehow, so I never returned. Track you down in-game? He knows you IRL, right? If they dated, their boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm confused. They can just show up. I mean, yeah, he sent them a letter. If Shu sent the OP a letter, he obviously knows your address. Why would you be worried that he could track you down in game? He can track you IRL. Anyway, back to the story. That was till this year. In January 2023, I finally returned to Final Fantasy XIV as I was given the complete game expansion and all as a 24th birthday gift last month in December. I eagerly made my own account. I made my own character and got to experience the wonderful story for the first time. Well, I'm glad that they got their own account. I got to make my own choices without being scolded. I made friends, joined an FC I love and care so much about, and I kind of met and bonded the love of my life. I can safely say Final Fantasy XIV is a second home to me now. Yeah, I'm glad they're doing a lot better now. Thanks to Final Fantasy, I have been able to get through my depression, and now I am currently working on saving to move to the city where my beloved lives, as we are also preparing an IRL Final Fantasy XIV themed wedding where our Warriors of Light is our cake topper. Oh, wow. Like, I think we're like fast tracking like through like a long period of time here, because it just went like they met someone. They're already telling us that they're gonna move to the city and get married to their new person that they're with, and they're gonna have a wedding with their Warriors of Light as their cake topper. That's pretty cool. Sorry for rambling during the story, as I have trouble focusing on one topic and maybe oversharing, but it's nice to let this out. Zach still teaches at my high school, and he still plays Final Fantasy XIV. He's like the best Omnicrafter I know. I now have my own account. I'm currently a female Seeker of the Sun with the cutest dresses. Oh, and I'm not a Dark Knight. I actually main both Astrologian and Sage. The moral of the story, however, is 1. Focus on yourself and happiness. You deserve to be happy and do what you wish. True. 2. A bad experience will not define everything. Take a break and return once you feel ready. True. Thank you for reading my story. If you made it this far, I would invite you and anyone else who is reading or listening to the wedding if I could. Sadly, I don't know if I would have enough cake. I wish you a very good morning, day, evening, or night. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal. The end. I mean, it was nice that they wanted to invite us, but we have no idea. You never told us anything about the new guy in your story. I'm glad they're happier now. But what? A lot of the story is so strange. First of all, things could have been exaggerated, right? Like, there's no way they met someone. Like, there's no way their teacher was someone they met in the game. And that letter was so strange. I don't even know what to... I'm gonna say I believe some parts of the story, but not all of it. Here's the thing. I know that, like, when people submit stories to me, there's no rule it can't be fake, okay? But if it ends up being fake, any way or any form, me and the chat and all the people listening on YouTube will have their say, you know? Like, we're gonna be like, I don't know about that part. You know what's crazy? people from the YouTube stories, the other ones, which I know are real stories, because like some of those stories are my friends' stories that they've written to me, and I know it's real. People in the comments for those videos already say like fake story, fake story. And so what are they gonna do about this one? I did it's content though. I did tell the OP, I was like, are you okay with me reading this if most people are gonna think it's fake? They said yeah. And I said, are you also okay that also yeah, I do like let people know, like when you submit a story, like it's kind of like a disclaimer I tell people who submit stories, like just know that people can be mean on the internet, you know, like it's part of the YouTube package, or anything that you put out on the internet. Like you're going to have people always hating on you. Like you'll have some people supporting you and you'll have some people hating on you. But sometimes when people submit stories to me, they think like, oh my god, I can't wait, I'm gonna be praised, I'm gonna be like, people are gonna empathize with me, they're gonna see me as the victim. It's like, no, sometimes you can't tell what's gonna happen. Sometimes people on YouTube will be like, oh, I hate the OP, like, and when people read those comments, they come back to me and say, oh my god, I like, it really hurts. And I'm like, I know, because I'm in front of the camera, and I've been people say shit about me too. Like that's part of being on the internet. Like when I make videos, sometimes people say racist things about like Asians just because I'm Asian, or they'll judge my looks. It happens to everyone. You gotta know, like when I read this, people might say mean things in the comments. They might think your story is fake, and if they agree, then it's a go sign. I'll read it. You know, when I first read this story, I really thought OP was a girl and their boyfriend was a guy. And sometimes in the stories that get given to me, they do say in stories like, oh, I'm a girl and my boyfriend's a guy, or sometimes they say we're a gay couple. But this one, like, and sometimes we get stories where they don't actually say, and then we kind of just like assume. And like as I read it the first time, I really thought it was a girl and a guy. But when I started analyzing more and more, I do think I think it's a gay couple. This is my assumption, and I'll tell you guys why. When they said they found Astrologian and they didn't want to tell their boyfriend, I feel like if you're a girl and you found Astrologian, why wouldn't you want to tell your boyfriend that you like Astrologian? Okay, maybe because they're a controlling freak. I get that. But then those lines of like the guy saying like, this is a manly game, and the boyfriend said this is a manly game, and he kept trying to force them to play a tank. Like, would you force your girlfriend to play tank? I just think the boyfriend, after analyzing, I think the boyfriend was like a manly, like kind of gay guy, and he was with the OP, also a gay guy, but because OP is more feminine gay, he kept pushing like manly stuff onto him. That's what I think. That's what I'm assuming here, but you know, I could be totally wrong. The boyfriend's controlling and trying to put too much manly, or trying to make their boyfriend too manly, when the boyfriend just wants to be feminine and play healer and not a tank. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this Final Fantasy XIV drama story. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra.